Hey, I'm John McFarlane, Community Video Manager here at Rare, where we're currently hard at work on Sea of Thieves. Now, we wanted to create this new series to give you a behind-the-scenes look at some of the work that was going on here at the studio. We hear from the community almost every day that you want to know more about sword combat, so let's go speak to some of the developers and see how it's coming along. Follow me. And he's come. Greg's just handily waiting on me. So I'm here with Design Director on Sea of Thieves, Greg Males, who, if there's any man in this building knows about swords, it's going to be you, right?
Let's hope so.
So basically, like, why are swords important in Sea of Thieves?
I think when you think about pirate, the first thing that springs to mind, as well as a ship and treasure and gold, is a sword. So kind of a pirate fighting another pirate with a sword is always been an important part of the vision and a key player expectation as well.
What can we expect from? Well, what can players expect as the first implementation of swords in the game?
Yeah, the first implementation is we just want to get a sword into players' hands and kind of give them an option to engage with other players or call skeletons in a different way other than shooting a gun. A shooting a gun's a very ranged option, whereas a sword is kind of right up close and personal, one-on-one. So it's a very different way of engaging in combat.
And what about in the future? What can we expect from swordplay?
Yeah, we want to kind of, starting from just getting the basics in, we want to kind of expand it into a kind of a deeper system which allows players to kind of get better at it, kind of work out how they use the mechanics to kind of fight as a crew, and trying to capture the vision of kind of exciting, dynamic kind of sword meeting sword combat, the kind of ting of the exchanges. And we want players to be using all the different environments, like on the ship, kind of jumping off the ship, and the fight carries on in the water, or you're up on a cliff and you knock someone off over the edge and you jump down onto the beach after them and carry on the sword fight. It needs to be kind of this flowing, living way of fighting that's really fun.
Okay, so I'm here with Senior Engineer John Watkins, who's going to run us through exactly where we are in the process of putting swords into the game. So we're talking about like a kind of version 1 of the swords going into the game. Like, what exactly is that?
Yeah, absolutely. So version 1 is pretty much hitting things with swords. You've got the full suite kind of animations and sound effects and particle effects and the feedback you'd expect.
And what exactly does that look like in the game at the moment?
It looks just controlling one person here. You can kind of go around, like I say, hitting people. You can also, by holding attack, do a heavy attack, which does more damage, and it's slightly kind of narrow hit detector on it, but
so we're seeing the feedback here. So this is the third.
Yeah, we've got 2 players running locally, but this would be much like what you'd see if you got two clients. We've even got a spoofed latency in this built in as well, so we can test that within the editor. So yeah, we also have kind of combo attacks where you do 3 here attacks as a combination, where if you keep hitting and you're in the middle of attacks and you're hitting someone, as long as you keep landing attacks, you'll start the next one in the combo and you get sort of a slightly quicker second and then third attack as a result of landing a previous one. You've got this full screen effect that also shows the direction from which you've been damaged. So anytime you receive damage from any weapon, in fact, when this goes in, we did this work particularly for melee, because it's so important to know when you're being hit from behind that it's coming from behind. It just immediately gives you some more information if you see, these kind of indicators that stretch out to the back of the screen. But that's for any damage source. So the same would be true for blunderbuss, pistol. Yeah.
So it's fair to say that when this goes in, it's not like it's going in an unpolished state.
Sure.
It's just a version of that. Like, there's going to be more features added to it. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. There's a whole bunch more to come. The heavy attack is a good example, where we want to have knockback, where if you're not blocking and you get hit with one of these heavy attacks, which you really can see coming, there's a long warm-up animation involved, right? So if you get hit with that, you should feel like it's your fault. And as a kind of balance to that, we also have the player getting sent flying, which is quite a disadvantage, obviously, and can result in you being sent off your ship or off a cliff and then taking falling damage further or whatever else. Lots of different things can kind of emerge based on sending someone flying. So that's something that'll come in later on.
We're putting in this version 1 of it. What is the sort of feedback that we are looking for at this point? Like, what are we hoping to see from players?
I think the balance of the weapons versus balance of melee weapons versus other weapons is something that we're interested to see. There's this thing that I think As Mike Chapman spoken about recently, there's like cannons and then guns and then swords, which you kind of expect, but we want to make sure it sits well within that overall vision of how it should be when you engage another crew on your ships.
So thank you very much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this behind the scenes look at sword combat. And remember, if you want a chance to play Sea of Thieves early and help shape the game with features like sword combat, then sign up to our Insider programme. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you soon.